On Living with Machines, we were keen to use crowdsourcing from the outset of the project because we believe that research shouldn't just be a bunch of professors speaking to the community. We believe the community have important things to tell us. And so we've designed research tasks that involve a community of interested people helping us to build data sets.
So we had access to all this historical newspaper data, and we built some computational models that could extract information and insights from the data. But we also decided to go to the humans and ask for high-quality judgments that humans could make to help us see if our computational methods did a good job. And so what we did is we created a series of tasks in Zooniverse, which is a crowdsourcing platform.
Zooniverse, if you aren't familiar with it, is a platform that has about 2.5 million registered volunteers, hundreds of active and completed projects. It began as a citizen science platform asking people to classify images of galaxies.
This community of Zooniverse contributors are an amazing resource for any researcher. They are really highly proficient. They are experts in their field. They are passionate about the Industrial Revolution and Britain in the long 19th century.
The first project that we did on Zooniverse asked people to help us confirm whether or not an article was about an accident. And I chose accidents because it's an immediately engaging form of impact of mechanisation. So we might ask people to apply classifications to newspaper articles to let us know things like, we think this article maybe describes an industrial accident or an accident involving machinery. Can you confirm that yes, it does or it doesn't? And then we might ask them further, what were the ages and genders of those involved in the accident? What kind of site did it take place in? So we're looking at, was it in a mine, in a home, in a farm, in a factory, or some form of transport? And that gives us lots of pieces of information that we can then analyse and look at sort of at scale. Through our work on accidents, we found that we needed to define what a machine was because we'd worked with the definition of a machine as something powered by inanimate power, so steam mostly, but also sun, wind, electricity. And we started working with some of the linguists on the project at that point to understand the kinds of definitions or the senses, as they called them in the Oxford English Dictionary, for terms like machine. So there was a sense in which it was a kind of metaphorical use of machines, the machinery of Parliament, for example.
So the tasks I was involved in were all about annotating the meaning of a word in context. And so we collected all of this annotation, and then we are analysing it so that we can test whether our computational models that had predicted certain changes in the meaning of words were actually matched by what humans have said.
So once we have the responses from the volunteers on the Zooniverse platform, we extract that information, and then we've trained a machine learning model to understand historical place names. We use the volunteers' tagging of these articles to train the model and make it better at understanding where in an article one of those place names are mentioned, and then we can extract information about this. And this is important because, of course, a lot of the places that exist in maps and tools that exist today don't have this kind of historical information. And so our model is trained on historical data specifically, and that's something that is quite unique to the project and something that we're contributing to the world of digital humanities and far beyond that.
Similar methodologies that are relevant to studying the Industrial Revolution are absolutely current for understanding very recent, if not contemporary or future trends in technological changes.
One thing that I discovered in this project, and I think it's really interesting, is the amount of boiler explosions that have been reported in Victorian newspapers.
I did become quite obsessed with boiler explosions, which amuses my friends because for a time I would bring almost any conversation around to boiler explosions.